In China, the anti-Japanese war was not followed by a period of peace. Instead, there was an escalation of the Civil War. At what was a turning point in China, many foreign journalists and photographers came to China hoping to seize the opportunity to take historic photographs. Among all the photographers of the Chinese Civil War, it was the photograph album From One China to the Other by the French master photographer Henri Cartier-Bresson that enjoyed the highest prestige. 1949 marked a significant turning point in Chinese history, and Bresson, who found himself in the right place at the right time, captured this decisive period on film.
那个时候，全球都在等待新的中国是怎么样子。他真的拍到解放军进上海的时候，那些市民啊很惊讶的看到这个情况。他是一个见证人，也是把这个历史决定性的时刻记录下来。
Who was Bresson and why did he come to China in 1949?
布列松这个人呢，号称叫新闻摄影之父，是所有很多新闻摄影记者的楷模。他是那个最早使用35镜头相机，也就是我们说是135相机的人。用这种相机，它最大的好处就是抓拍。所以说，这个布列松呢，他的摄影作品中最大的特点就是说抓拍现实的、真实的那个历史的瞬间。
How did Bresson become a photographer?
他的出身比较好，他们家族一直很希望他能够继承父业，然后管家族企业。但是布勒松不喜欢。第二次世界大战，他很不幸地被关进了集中营。他多次尝试越狱，最后终于成功了，然后去拍照。然后后来认识了这个卡帕和西莫尔，后来这3个人当时就志同道合，后来成立了马格南图片社。
进入马格南图片社，甚至他走上摄影的，都是一种生活的戏弄他。他本人呢，实际上根本就并不是特别喜欢这东西。他实际上一直是他的内心中觉得最崇高的是去做画家。
Bresson was famous for his documentary photography. He went on to form this theory of the decisive moment, and it influenced a generation of photographers. He believed that in photography, the smallest thing can be a great subject, and so he composed his pictures in the manner of modernist paintings. He gave his most famous photograph album the name The Decisive Moment to fully express his aesthetic concept of photography.
所以决定性瞬间就是认为照片所记录的那一刻是唯一的一刻，是最重要的一刻。拍摄过程中一连几个小时可能都不会去按一次快门，或者一连几个小时就只为了等那一下按快门的时间。
This picture, taken during the coronation of King George VI in 1937, presents us with a good example of Bresson's photographic perspective. While many photographers who'd come from all over the world were paying attention to the magnificent honor guard, Bresson was focusing his camera on a man who was sleeping among some newspapers. In order to be able to see the coronation clearly, the man had turned up at midnight to occupy a seat. But the man was so tired that he fell asleep just before the honor guard came. Bresson said, "Your eye must see a composition or an expression that life itself offers you, and you must know with intuition when to click the camera."
布列松到北平的时候呢，正是1949年的元月份，北平的那个里头的这个国民党的军政人员是惶惶不可终日，而老百姓呢是处于一种这个在战争的环境下观望的这么一个状态。
This is a eunuch of the former Qing dynasty in Beijing. He has a smile on his face, as if his city is not, as it were, at the crossroads of war and peace. In this picture, people are doing their morning exercises in front of Beijing's imperial ancestral temple.
你会看着很闲适、很放松，他就能把那当时北京人的那一刻的心情都从他们的表情上能抓到。
Bresson used his camera to record on film a comprehensive portrait of Beijing. There are street peddlers selling cigarettes and peanuts, fortune tellers beating a gong to solicit business, the various antique stores and tea houses on the street, and people who are struggling to make a living. Although by this time the Liberation Army had already arrived outside the city, speculators inside the city were still reselling silver dollars at a profit. Even shopkeepers and helpers were living a very flat life. This is the only picture that gives us an indication that this was a time of war. In it, an old man is looking for his son among new recruits.
戴着棉帽子，看着好像很担心，然后很迫切的希望在这种队伍里面找到自己骨肉的这样的心情，我们都能从他的眼神和从他表情上能抓到。冬天穿着棉服，戴着一个很大的棉帽子，然后护着耳朵，戴着眼镜。
In these shots, Bresson brings us the generous people of Beijing who'd already been through years of constantly changing situations. He also captures the subtle atmosphere of this time, a time when the city was caught between war and peace. In contrast with the detachment of Beijing citizens, in Nanjing and Shanghai, Bresson found the scenario was very different. This picture was shot before the People's Liberation Army crossed the Yangtze River. A Kuomintang official is trying to get out of Nanjing with his family. And in a Nanjing street, a Kuomintang soldier, tired and lost, holds an infant in his arms.
同一个城市的社会生活形成很大的反差。他第一次到上海的时候，实际上国民党的军队正是准备撤退，所以能看到大小军官拿着箱子包袱，然后坐在黄包车上准备坐船往南走。
有一张著名的照片叫《黄金挤兑风潮》，这张照片是布列松抓拍到的一张纪实摄影的经典之作。48年底到49年初，国民党规定每个人可以兑换40克黄金。那么于是乎，这个银行门口每天都排着大量的人，有很多人都被拥挤致死。那么布列松恰恰赶上了这样的场景，他在一个很近的距离抓拍到了这样的场景。
After the People's Liberation Army took over Nanjing in May 1949, Shanghai embraced its emancipation. At that time, in China's biggest city, Bresson captured on film an historical moment marked by the transition from the old to the new. At this crucial moment in the Chinese Civil War, Bresson took pictures of the daily life of 3 representative cities, Beijing, Shanghai, and Nanjing. How was he able to always successfully capture crucial pictures at decisive moments?
我感觉未必是伯列松自己的判断，我认为是他接受的是总部的指示。我觉得马格南图片社里面肯定对自己的，他是不断的告诉你，你必须随着这个作为一个因为当时伯列松的身份就是一个新闻记者，那你必须在重大新闻，你必须在场。
In this photo, the people are carrying a picture of Mao Zedong. It was shot by Bresson on a street in Shanghai. The picture was later published by the New York Times.
我说只能给一个80分吧，绝不是100分，因为他没有把那些特别牛的信息给在。第一，我觉得他不是一个战地记者，所有的任何这个前锋的事情他都是没有去的。第二呢，他的所有的照片、图注，也就是档案工作做的几场。那么重要的这种历史时刻，一个优秀的记者，他应该是做的
把每一次实行技术的让图片真正获得历史的力量，应该把图片所携带的这种历史信息以文本的方式给留下来，都没有。如果这堆照片给一个完全不知道中国这段历史的一个西方人看的时候，那他会得到什么？他实际上是一个非常破碎的、碎片化的人。但是伯列松还是在这段时间给我们拍下这段历史呢，是中国自己本身非常缺乏。如果没有伯列松，那么历史又会什么样呢？如果没有他们呢，你还能看见这些东西吗？所以这是历史特别荒废的地方。当然后来他又来过57年也来过中国，然后65年也来过中国，他还是也真的是为我们留下了很多很有趣的东西。
In 1958, China strode into the Great Leap Forward period. In order to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the establishment of the People's Republic of China, the Chinese government decided to invite Bresson back to China. He would present the whole world evidence of China's achievements in both revolution and construction. Why did Bresson accept this invitation from the Chinese government?
你中国作为一个就民族主义的国家，作为一个中国文化的那么一个国家，对西方来说是极感兴趣。你下面会怎么样演进？
When he came to China, Bresson found that the shots he'd be taking of the people and environment had already been planned. Bresson disapproved of this kind of approach. He gave the following comments about Chinese photography at a forum. He said he'd seen a lot of pictures about China, some of them very good, but some of them not. In one picture, a woman was holding a bundle of wheat in her arms with an exaggerated laugh on her face. Of course, farmers are happy when they have a good harvest, but an exaggerated laugh, he said, seems inappropriate. People who work in the field look dusty and sweaty, nothing like that woman who has all her clothes all clean. He said arranged scenes cannot reflect real life, let alone impress people. Even so, under the arrangement made for him, Bresson took a great number of pictures in China of the revolution, construction, and the life of the country.
然后他就特别跑去拍老百姓，才是他最喜欢是老百姓，因为他说我48年来了，58年来了，刚好10年，中国怎么样的变化了？
Although the Chinese government was not quite satisfied with Bresson's work in the 1950s, back in the West, his pictures stimulated in young photographers a passion for China. One of them was Marc Reboud, a famous French photographer. From the 1950s right up to the 21st century, Marc Reboud came to China 22 times. His pictures of China became famous all over the world. Why did Marc Reboud have this special preference for China over other places? And, most importantly, what did he see in China? Born in Lyon, France in 1923, Marc Reboud took a fancy to photography at the age of 14 when his father gave him a Kodak camera. During the Second World War, Reboud joined the French guerrillas of Charles de Gaulle, and after the war he became a mechanical engineer. However, he finally gave up what was a stable job to become a freelance photographer. Marc Reboud met Bresson in Paris at the beginning of his career as a photographer. By that time, Bresson was already renowned as a world-class master of photography whose theory of the decisive moment was well known. He became Marc Reboud's first photography teacher. Jean Lo is a friend of Marc Reboud.
他一进马格南，伯列松就差不多是他的父亲一样的一个模型。然后他说，卡帕就像他的哥哥，因为伯列松总是教训他，卡帕就跟他是开玩笑的什么说， 比方说你英语不好，要不你去英国去学英语，顺便泡妞啊什么。马克·利布真的去了英国，他回到法国的时候去看卡巴，那卡巴就问他：“你英语学会了吗？”我还不会讲英语。那你泡了妞没有？他说也没泡到。不过我拍了好多照片。
Bresson and Kappa, who helped Marc Reboud start his career as a photographer, had both been to China, and their experiences in China stimulated Reboud's interest. In January 1957, Marc Reboud got on a train in Hong Kong bound for Guangzhou. No Western photographers had received approval from the Chinese government to come to China since Bresson left in 1949. Marc Reboud was thus the first Western photographer to visit New China. He took his first picture in China on the train from Hong Kong to Guangzhou. Reboud saw a peasant woman on the train. She looked dignified, and this young photographer was stunned by her elegance. What he saw in her was a harmonious combination of soft and strong. To Reboud, she was an example of China. The first impression stayed in his memory for the rest of his life.
跟布列松48年、49年的照片，相对来说有好多张是好像他要从布列松拍过的、看到过的镜头重新再去看。
These pictures were taken by Marc Reboud when he first came to China in 1957. In this picture, a woman cadre is making a statement at a meeting. Nobody knows what she was saying, but that year, 1957, marked a climax in both the revolution and in the construction of China. This is the Anshan Iron and Steel Corporation as captured in Marc Reboud's pictures. Instead of the manufacturing shop, he focuses his camera on a man at his desk and workers taking lunch. In doing so, he presents us with a special period in which the dominant trait is great enthusiasm for work. In 1965, Marc Reboud came to China for the second time and took this picture, which later became the cover of his pictorial album. The photo features a moment that occurred quite by chance. A dock worker was about to cross the road when Reboud tried to take a picture of the 3 banners of China poster on the wall. Reboud's translator yelled at the worker, telling him to leave. Reboud pressed his shutter just as the worker hurried away in a panic, thus capturing an absurd but real moment. This is another popular picture taken by Marc Reboud in China in 1965. He took it as he was shopping with his first wife in Beijing's Glass Street Market.
刚好有这么奇怪的2个女孩子在往里面在看，他就举起相机按一块呢，就拍到一个所谓的决定性的瞬间。是马克说是一种直觉性的，他的照片卖的最贵的一张中国的照片就是这张琉璃厂的照片，就非常有几何感。一张照片里面可以看到6张不同的照片。
Both Reboud and Bresson were sensitive to lines.
中国对他们来说是很神秘的，尤其是这2个摄影师，因为李布是等于是他是很崇拜布列松，所以他们这种观点他有一种传承。他们到了中国，对这个社会主义、共产主义的中国有一种理想，有极大的好奇。
Marc Reboud came to China for the 3rd time in 1971. This is when he took this picture of Premier Zhou Enlai. In doing so, he captured the meaning of Zhou Enlai's gesture.
周恩来的那个不是耶，也不是 V， 是两个东西我在法国学到的，一是马克思主义，二是列宁主义，是这个意思啊。他说为了这张照片，其实他等了好久，他在东南海等了整天。
After that, Marc Reboud came to China many more times. He once made the comment that he'd spent more time on Wangfu Jing Street than on the Avenue des Champs-Élysées. He said that China had achieved in a short time what had taken the West 3 or 4 centuries to achieve. A journalist writes that Marc Reboud's photographs of China became a symbol of his career as a photographer. When browsing his photograph album, the reader feels like he or she is immersed in the change of the times. His camera has become the eyes of history, observing and recording changes in Chinese society over a period of half a century.
那个时候，他们很多摄影师就有点迷茫，就不知道怎么拍，因为大家都习惯了做这种摆拍的，就是你好好的坐下来，摆个姿势，这中国最光荣的那个社会主义这种照片是吧？只看到布列松跟马克吕布拍中国的照片，就很惊讶，就说哦，真的可以自自然然的拍老百姓的平常的生活的照片，不一定要摆什么姿势，所以就开始从他们身上学。我记得有一个评论家在评论写过一篇文章说，中国的纪实摄影跟马克吕布的相差还有多远？
Born in Hong Kong, Chinese-American photographer Liu Xiangcheng was lucky to become one of the first group of Western photographers approved to come to China after the reform and opening up. Join us for part 10 of Zoetrope, China in the Eyes of Foreign Photographers.
然后那个时候是有北京四季青，那个时候中国人一买大白菜，一买就买1000公斤，最少是500公斤。楼梯、阳台、马路，全北京都是大白菜，然后要吃过整个冬天。
He is Liu Xiangcheng, the first Western photographer to come to China after 1976. He's an American Chinese. His book, China After Mao, recorded a very different China in a time of social transition at the beginning of China's reform and opening up period. What was the relationship between Liu Xiangcheng and China? What amazing stories lie behind his pictures?
文革结束以后，突然的这个国门的大规模开放，第一波来肯定都是任何一个政治区域的开放的第一步，就是大量的记者先涌进来。再涌进来的各种各样的，比如法新社啊、美联呐，就有这么一个非常独特的人物。这个人物就是刘向成。刘向成呢，实际上他的少年时期应该是在中国大陆这个环境中走的，是这样。所以虽然他最后是一个美籍摄影师，他加入美国国籍，但是他 地地道道的从他的血缘身份，他是中国人，他实际上是了解中国怎么回事。
Liu Xiangcheng was born in 1951 in Hong Kong. However, in his childhood, his parents sent him to a primary school in Fuzhou, their hometown. Inevitably, at school, he felt that he was different from the others.
成长的时候，他已经接受一种教育，就是把人分成阶级。如果你不是工农兵，或者不是进步的知识分子，基本上你就是剥削别人的这个所谓资产阶级或者是地主。我们这些人是可以说是首当其冲。那个时代，学校每一周都有一天去劳动，去到郊区去捡石头、盖铁路。打苍蝇嘛，是那个时代有个叫除四害，就打死的苍蝇就装在火柴那个盒子上给老师。小学生嘛，最少就是以这种劳动来衡量一个学生的政治表现。所以当时我希望是很积极的，打苍蝇作为一个政治表现，来补偿阶级的这个区别，是靠这个政治表现来看看哪一个孩子带不带上红领巾的。所以当时全红一点黑，就是唯一我没带上这个红领巾。
Liu Xiangcheng was in the mainland in the 1960s when China was suffering from food shortages. In order to protect him from starvation, his parents took their son back to Hong Kong.
到了香港是另外一个社会，就是没有这种政治挂帅，所以马上就觉得，哎，这里是一个社会，这里是另外一个社会。养成习惯去观察的时候，你会观察的每一件事情的双面性，就是所有的事情都不是黑，不是白的。我父亲又是一个这个报纸的报人，60年代到了香港时间不长以后，学习英文，学习广东话，暑假嘛，就父亲让我去翻译这个新闻稿，路透社、美联社的稿翻成中文，新闻是美国人登月了。
Later, Liu Xiangcheng went to study photojournalism in the United States.
John Milley 我的老师，他邀请我去生活杂志当他的助理的时候，我们每一天工作完了，大概下午5、6点钟，我们就再喝一杯很小的 whisky， 这个墙上贴满了他喜欢的图片，都是我们后来人所说的这种图片很耐看的图片。什么样的图片它耐看，值得你去读，而不是一个画面。你只要按着快门就有画面。所以说，在那个短短的1年当中，我的老师还是教了我一个很重要的工具，就是怎么去阅读。要观察一个人，你要观察他的肩膀，你要看他的脸孔，你要看他的眼睛。从教育方面，其实我受了3种教育，一个是社会主义新中国的教育，一种是香港英国殖民地的教育，一个是全美国的这个大学教育。社会的这个发展一直都是我一个兴趣，这个也影响了后来我的工作。
In 1976, the U.S. magazine Life sent Liu Xiangcheng to conduct an interview in Europe. One day, when he walked out of a subway station in Paris, he was surprised by something on the front page of the newspaper. Several years later, he mentioned this in the preface to his book. In Paris next, planning to photograph French Prime Minister Raymond Barre, I left Hotel Matignon one morning to be confronted by a full-page photograph of Chairman Mao on the cover of that day's Le Figaro. Realizing Mao had died, I called my agent in New York, Robert Pledge, who got me an assignment to photograph Mao's funeral for Time magazine. Liu Xiangcheng took a direct flight from Paris to Hong Kong, but it wasn't until he arrived in Guangdong province that he became aware of just how difficult it was for a foreigner to go to Beijing. In the end, he had to stay in Guangzhou.
广州人的日常生活里面，不是我的记忆中的中国人。所谓看到谁都要防范、谁都要警惕的这种东西，好像显然的从人的肢体语言里面，一夜之中就好像放松了。因为我小的时候受的教育，我在文革期间给我留下的一些画面，我发现中国已经开始变了。这个是很微妙的一种，你要么就看得到，要么就看不到。我就感觉到这新的时代来了。
While in Guangzhou in 1976, Liu Xiangcheng didn't take pictures of major events, but instead focused on ordinary people.
所以他到中国来以后呢，他的这种双重的这种身份啊，这个文化特征呢，会让他对这个中国的这场变革呢有更深刻的体会。
In 1978, Liu Xiangcheng got the break he was looking for when the Associated Press sent him to Beijing.
那78年的上半年也是，我就到了北京，所以我作为第一批的美国记者，就回到了这个中国大陆，在北京开始我的生活。我记得我作为南方人嘛，到了北京很不习惯的就是干，北京人都说你多吃一点心里美。对，那个时候天特别蓝，蓝是蓝到好像天坛那个紫瓦那么蓝。因为那个时代，我是唯一的一个摄影记者，代表一个西方主流的新闻机构。我虽然是为美联社工作，但是我每一天跟在纽约的美联社工作是不一样的。除了邓小平先生说接见美国的副总统或者是国防部长你要去之外，其他的时间都是你的。那邓小平接见这个外宾，他就是你这个只能够拍5分钟你就出来了，所以剩下的时间都是你。所以在这么多的时间里面，你怎么去了解这个社会
？In 1978, China opened itself to the outside world. In this picture taken by Liu Xiangcheng, a young man in an army coat is drinking Coca-Cola in front of the Forbidden City. In this photograph, he's achieved a clever juxtaposition of the old Chinese military coat and the Coca-Cola bottle. It successfully sums up people's experiences in the early years of the opening up period.
我曾经问过不休，你何时跟我走？可你却从
就是当时都戴这种墨镜。刚改革开放，这个在文化大革命中这是不能戴的。当时要文革中戴墨镜的只有炼钢工人、炉钳工可以戴墨镜，一般的人是不可以戴的，因为戴就是一个坏分子。那么改革开放以后，你看大家流行这叫蛤蟆镜。啊，各式各样眼镜，像美国的是那种康宁公司，玻璃企业也是，它的镜子也到中国来卖。刘强成就拍了这个，这是中国改革开放，就从小就可以看到，这是一个符号。
这个人的眼睛在北大河比这些年轻人他在云南景洪可能就更时髦了。这张那个时候黑的，黑的一塌糊涂，那个广场。但是那个时候，你看那学生是第一次恢复高考，他读书读得多投入，趴在地下按着这个like，我按了23秒，按着 B， 然后自己数1、2、3，数到23，我把它关了快门。对吧？23秒他动都不动。 他不可能为了我而摆的。中国无可否认是一个相当大的一个故事，我们怎么去表现它？我们只可以通过这个生活里面很小很小的细节。
The man and the woman in this picture are clearly in love. It's interesting to note that their ankles are crossed.
中国人怎么爱？他两个脚搭着，你搭我，我搭你，这个就是一种表现。那个时代，你要抓住那个时代的感觉，这个就是代表的时代。很直觉的，我觉得在西方的这种对爱的这种表述，它是很直接的。西方人来到中国，他感觉不到中国人互相之中的爱，他觉得中国人很神秘，他从来都不表达他们的爱。所以我说我要看，就中国人怎么表现他的爱。西方人看了那个图片，他就觉得哦，这个是中国，我们看，我们一看就明白的。中国人看当然更明白，但是我们都明白这个事情，为什么没有人去记录呢？就是什么东西你看得见，什么东西你看见了也没看见。
Apart from major political themes, Leo also focused his camera on the way Chinese people expressed love during this period of transition.
因为那个时候大家住房说现在很紧张，其实那个时候也很紧张。谈恋爱，比如到了上海外滩，在外滩的板凳这边有一些人在排队，对吧？希望这两个人谈恋爱，快谈完就走了，下一波人就可以坐下来。这张也很有意思，当时上海这个婚纱这个照很时髦，但是这对新婚的夫妇为了省钱，他只租了上面这个婚纱，他下面你看没有的是吧？因为他这个照片他下面不需要，这个就全套了。
虽然他身处于西方，他回到自己的祖国来拍的时候，他的视觉意识跟真正的西方人是不一样的。真正的西方人，他更偏重于中国的风情，就民族性本土的东西，更传统的东西。华人回来呢，他更会注重于变化，而且这个变化呢，就是跟我们本土的内地的人理解的变化是不一样的。他们所理解的变化是跟他印象当中的过去的中国那种变化，所以他在抓中国的变化的时候呢，他也抓得比我们中国本土的人抓得牢。
其实说故事它是需要，你如果很多细节，你觉得这个也看不上，那个也看不上，你没有办法说一个更大的故事。我们表达我们自己，我们去报道我们自己的生活，我们用的是什么工具？思想、感情、快门能够抓到这个瞬间，这三样东西，也就是布列松先生所说的决定性的瞬间，是吧？这决定性的瞬间，很多事情在你面前发生，没有思想，没有感情，只有快门，也不成事。然后这个很有意思，当时做这个美容手术的时候，他先做一边，做了一个眼睛，然后他才可以骑自行车回去，然后一个眼睛被盖着，第二次回来做第二个。这个人在东单，这个老先生就是在那个胡同破破烂烂的，我很难找，后来被我找到他。那这个太有代表性，你说做完双眼皮的手术还要骑着自行车回去，他才看得见，所以只能够做一个。两个都做的话，那天他就回不了家了。那个时候有没有人说家里有人开车，那带他回去？不可能。
When Liu Xiangcheng published a book of pictures he took from 1978 to 1983, he called it China After Mao. The cover picture is of a young man skating in front of the statue of Chairman Mao, spreading his arms like an eagle. Why did Liu Xiangcheng choose this picture for the cover?
我就陪着一批美国的这种教授 ，MBA 的教授，他到大连理工去讲课。当天早上他们去学打太极啊什么，我就拿着相机自己在校园里面去溜达溜达，所以就遇到这个年轻人在滑冰啊，就拍上了这张图片。但主席像里面你看到他的风衣，这风吹的是一个方向。 但是这个年轻人他走的是另外一个方向。
Richard Bernstein, once Time magazine's Beijing bureau chief as well as Liu Xiangcheng's superior, wrote the following in the preface to China After Mao. To a great extent, Liu's uncovered a China that's in the process of uncovering itself. He shows us a society emerging from a frightening period of political terror into an era where its true essence could be expressed once again.
实际上，在他到中国的时候，中国的所有的摄影记者呢正面临转型的时候，而这种转型呢，虽然在内心中的这个心潮澎湃，但是到底他没有样板。 山寨的这个样板都没有，结果实际上刘晓成起到了一个样板的作用，歪打误撞的，在这个角度对中国的这个摄影、这个新闻摄影的转型呢，其实刘晓成起到了一定的促进作用。
In the preface of Liu Xiangcheng's book, Richard Bernstein writes the following. Hundreds of foreign photographers with fine eyes and marvelous skills have been to China to shoot tens of thousands of pictures. Like most foreigners in general, they stay for only a few days or a few weeks. Unlike these people, Liu's been living in China for years, truly experiencing ordinary life in China. Therefore, his pictures, which have broken away from stereotypes, will show us the real China.
但是你如果很快的车经过，或者是不去好好仔细的去琢磨，当时也很多人拿着相机，他们不把相机对着这些事情，这些事情就在他们身边，他们也没有知觉。所以一个报道它是通过很多这种细节，你看到一个更大的一面，就中国开始在动。
因为这些内容里面的含义我们根本看不懂，根本不知道里面的含义。冲击过了30年以后，我们再来看他们的照片，然后开始逐步体会到里面那么一点含义在里面了。也许再过50年，我们中国人一般的人来看这个东西的时候，就像我刚才讲的，它深层次的含义就才能够看出来。
After he left China in 1983, Liu Xiangcheng went to India, South Korea, and the former Soviet Union. On December 25, 1991, Liu was present when Mikhail Gorbachev delivered the speech announcing the dissolution of the Soviet Union. As a journalist with the Associated Press in Moscow, Liu was the only press photographer permitted to be present. His pictures of the occasion were to win him a Pulitzer Prize. In 1997, Liu returned to Beijing, where he continued his work as a photographer and started collecting historical photographs of China.
现在中国从各个方面的发展，当然震撼世界的这个成就，但是我们在文化这方面。 我觉得还有许多工作可以做得更细一点。说百年长安这个历史，无论是外国人 记录下来，中国人自己记录下来。我们不能够说，因为这个事情是别人拍的，是别人写的，这个跟我们就没有关系。这个解读，我觉得是太不负责任。我走遍世界，大国家、小国家、中等的国家，我从来都没有看到一个国家有中国这么大。地理的环境在中国也是最严峻的。但是过去这个新中国这个60年头30年的这个对自己的这种孤立，到7、8年之后的这个改革开放。在这么短的时间里面，中国人做了这么多的事情，这个是所有有眼睛可以观察的人都看到中国的可能性。中国人相当务实，由于这个务实，他也有点极端，所以他今后他会调整，走不通了，他会从这个深山上掉下来。我觉得这个可能性当然是有，但是不大可能，因为中国人很务实。